Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome everyone to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the series where we talk about 5 films inspired by or thematically related to the movie we're discussing this week. And I have 5 films here, 4 German caps based on the movie Money Monster.
I can't wait to see what 5 films you've got. Hopefully they all involve dancing TV hosts who probably shouldn't be dancing.
Damn it, you caught on too early to the thematic line between all these.
Yeah, so what do you got for me first?
Okay, as we're talking about Money Monster, we're talking about network TV thrillers, what's happening live on television, so it shouldn't be any surprise to you since we talked about it in the main episode. That's right, we're talking
Network! I feel like we went on a run where we talked about Network in like every episode for 8 straight episodes, so it's only fitting that we recommend it now.
It is, yeah, and the fact that we're recommending it made me realize it's actually been half a minute since I've watched this, and you know, the connections are pretty obvious. I don't know that we need to expand on them too much. You know, it's a what if darkness that happens on live TV.
Yeah, what if fucked up stuff happened on television?
Yeah, the thing I remember from Network, oddly enough, is Ned Beatty's scene. I mean, there are many moments throughout that I remember them deciding to, you know, or just very nonchalantly bandying about what if we kill him on air for ratings. But the kind of religious fervor that Ned Beatty has in his one Oscar-nominated scene just is maybe hands down the single best one-scene performance of any actor ever.
Yeah, no, he really chews up a heroic amount of scenery in this one scene where he is just the head of the network screaming at this anchor who has thrown a wrench into the works of global commerce with the things he's saying on TV.
And little side tangent about Superman, the movie. How do you go from that into a Baby Huey version of, "Oh, I don't know, Lex Luthor, what are we gonna do about it?" Like, it's such a fall from grace for me. I don't like the original Superman, but we don't need to dwell on that.
You know, Landon, if this makes it any easier, he got a large check with a bunch of zeros on it. Yes,
right,
it's a profit deal.
I see.
Much like Howard Beale is a prophet.
You make a fool for yourself for money. Speaking of fools and money.
Oh, Dog Day Afternoon, the kind of quintessential New York City police standoff movie.
Yes.
Featuring young Al Pacino.
Is he a fool for trusting someone in this movie?
You know, I mean, I don't think that's the most foolish thing he does. I think trust is not his issue. I think violent crime is the bigger problem here.
So this is a second film in a row directed by Sidney Lumet. This is 1 year before Network. And
one banger after another. George Clooney could never pull this off as a director.
Well, man, don't even get me started. I really like this one. And I kind of like, this made me lament Money Monster a little bit, where it's like, Money Monster is very much the 2013 Hollywood system movie of if Dog Day Afternoon was made in 2013, it would be a Money Monster.
If Dog Day Afternoon, they received notes from executives and went out of their way to implement them, it would be Money Monster.
Yeah, whereas, you know, the documentary style of Sidney Lumet capturing what's happening here in Dog Day Afternoon is just, it's part of the vibe, the thriller of it. And it's a shame that doesn't really exist outside of like A24 or, you know, independent productions.
Yeah. And now we're just thankful that we even have that much.
Should we keep moving on? Let's skip ahead to 2006 for
Inside Man, which is, yeah, really, I mean, it's God, this feels so of a piece with Dog Day Afternoon. I mean, you can't really do a bank heist standoff movie without people talking about that, but it takes... I mean, I think this has the broader social consciousness that Money Monster wants you to think that it has. This
Right.
movie actually does.
Inside Man, though, from my memory, does not have a trailer with a Bruce Springsteen song in it.
No. So truly the weaker film.
But I think there's, some additional thematic connections here of like the relationship between the NYPD and hostages, people who take hostages, these standoff moments. How do you do that in a city and keep bystanders protected? How do you prevent hostages from being harmed? What's that negotiation look like? Inside Man is just a banger and does it so much better than Money Monster.
Yes, I mean, and well, look, Money Monster came a few years after this movie. I mean, it's impossible to argue that this was not an influence on Money Monster, that Money Monster was not like that they didn't watch this at some point in pre-production for Money Monster.
Just a fantasy alternate reality. What if Denzel was in the George Clooney role?
I think, do you think he would be a better dancer than George Clooney?
100%, without a doubt, he would.
Boom. Yeah, then that's all I want. Yeah, that's all you need. I'm sorry. The only flaw in Money Monster is that the dancing isn't very good, and there's a surprising amount of dancing in the movie. What's up next?
All right, we're moving on to a little bit different connection here.
Oh, Little Fish. I don't know what this is. What is Little Fish?
Little Fish is a movie. I mentioned it very briefly on the show when we were talking about Jack O'Connell, because he stars in this, one of the co-stars. I mean, it's a two-hander, and he's one of the two people. It's a sci-fi romantic drama. I want to just shout out Chad Hardigan, full disclosure, fully stand him in his career. He was kind enough to have coffee with me, when I lived out in LA and was doing some film writing, and just want to point people towards his work generally. But this is genuinely a heart-wrenching performance by both Olivia Cooke and Jack O'Donnell. But the kind of sci-fi premise plays a little bit on memory and what you're gonna do with your time. So there's no real thematic connection to Money Monster, but I just want to kind of amplify the awesome talent of Jack O'Connell, who seems to be blowing up now.
Oh, okay. Look, his performance in Money Monster is great. So yeah, if you want another slice of the kind of intense drama that he serves up, this seems like a pretty heart-wrenching way to do it.
Okay, all right. Moving on to our last film. It's another odd connection, but
medium cool. That's always been kind of the level that I'm shooting for of coolness.
Cameraman Haskell Wexler, one of his directorial efforts, is how to describe this? This came out around the Kent State shooting situation, and it's about documenting violence and what you're willing to exploit and show on TV, and where's that line between documenting and exploitation. And this gets into a little bit more of the thriller aspect with a whole FBI angle and stuff, but of course I have to mention Robert Forster in a probably one of my favorite performances of his, maybe next to Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown is hard to top.
Yeah, killing it and I would even maybe put Twin Peaks: The Return on there, but whatever. This just plays thematically into that idea of what kind of responsibility does the media have for showing something live? What should it turn its eye away from? And how complicit are you in those situations?
Those are all really thoughtful and thought-provoking questions that Money Monster seems fully uninterested in grappling with. It's pretty much the guy's pointing a gun at him. We're gonna film all of it and show all of it, and it's okay.
And we're gonna meme the moment where the guy thinks he's going to die by being exploded.
Hey, man, look, that's better financial regulation through humiliating people on the internet with memes. That's the utopia I want to live in.
All right, so those are 5 films that you can go check out if you liked or want more in the vein of Money Monster. Just a reminder that we are part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network, and you can find extra bonus material like this on our Patreon for as little as $1. We are offering these episodes as audio-only podcast versions, so go check that out over at patreon.com/gruntworkpod.
And until next week, I've been Truman Caps.
And I've been Landon Solano. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit moviememorymachine.com.